bitches.
Hey, welcome to Fake Deep Take. It's just guys talking about a bunch of bullshit. Today we have with us John,
You're
Doc,
Yo, what's up?
and myself, Eugene. All right, so things are going to get, I guess, a little intense on this episode because we're going to start off talking about this Project Veritas exclusive, hashtag expose CNN. So the quick rundown, Project Veritas got a
cool ass name, to be honest with you.
this journalist to get on Tinder and potentially, I guess, match with CNN employees until I don't know if he was a target, but basically what happened is she matched with Charlie Chester, CNN technical director, and they went on 5 dates, and in those 5 dates, she recorded him admitting to some things that CNN apparently does. And John made a funny point pre-podcast.
Oh man, niggas will do anything for pussy. That's why I said. It's a lot of these secret societies. Let me put it like this. Do you know the longest society? We've talked about this. The Vatican, the Catholic Church, right? What are they sworn to?
Makes sense.
They can't get no pussy, Gene.
Chastity.
Yeah, man. Because they know once you start getting that thing, the jig is up. You hear me? So this nigga going on a date talking about, bitch, I run the world. This is my shit. It's been me the whole time. I got this nigga in the house. And now look at him. Like a fool, like a baboon with his ass out.
Yeah, so these are 2-minute clips. We're going to watch the clips and then react to this.
Oh, my God. I want a stripper on the next podcast so I want them to tell us what they see when he's talking.
Dude, he's like telling you how they do it in detail. Like, I thought he was just like, yeah, we did it. Like, no, he's breaking it down. He was just like, no, December 7th, we did. Like,
Oh,
this is
he on multiple dates. This
This
nigga
is
got
multiple
outfit
dates.
changes.
bro.
Man, no, let me
Bro, he got
Hold on.
farmed, man. I thought this was
ain't
just
right.
like one crazy date. Like, dude.
Hey, this ain't right, Gene. I'm off this. This ain't right. Pause it. Hold on. This is not right, Gene. You can't do this. Because are we going to sit here and say, literally, think about this. She didn't suck his dick not one time. Now think about this. Whoever they hired to do this, he gave all this without sex, outfit changes and everything?
I don't know, man.
Boy, I need to see what she looked like. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Neurologically damaged. We were creating a story
How do you lead into these
that we didn't know anything about. Oh, my God.
Dude, man, he's just an open book, man.
This is the best thing that happened to media in a long time.
What? Is this guy for sure this dude? Like,
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
not like an actor. He's not.
No.
Are they in bed?
No, they're at a bar.
Oh, okay.
There's a crowd in the background.
For those of you who are listening, there's just a scene where they cut to like them, and it's like a sweater, and I couldn't tell where they were at.
Yeah. And that's pretty much, yeah.
Okay, but my question here, too, is, wasn't it obvious that that's what they were doing?
That's what people...
It was.
like,
We just didn't have confirmation. I think.
exactly. That's all. Like, this... Like, it was definitely opinion. Like, your opinion is that CNN is this, blah, 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 blah. Because there's no... You can't... Nothing to cite to.
Except all the evidence.
Now, this is like... It's arguably...
I get that this is evidence.
I don't even think it's arguably now. It's a fact now.
I get that this is evidence. But you're saying 4 years of reporting is also not evidence of where they stood and what their goals were. Like I understand the guy suffers from, I ain't gonna lie, small dick syndrome or whatever he got going on.
You think that's
over
what
there.
it is?
Bro, come on, son. Like, why?
Dude, there's a second video.
Oh, a different outfit?
Week 2, bro.
Oh my gosh, let's just pull the Band-Aid off. Let's just pull the Band-Aid off. Here's the second video.
That's fucked up. COVID gangbusters for fucking ratings. This guy's a villain, dude. I don't know if he's trying to seem edgy in front of the girls.
I know,
it's
like that's
obvious.
that's the real hard part. Like, is this just
But, like,
ego
that
speaking?
Yeah, like that shit is fucking Lex Luthor villain type, like comic book villain shit. If it bleeds, it leads.
Yo, son, he couldn't talk about nothing but work to get pussy.
And these motherfuckers are saying that like social media companies are destroying the human like minds, the mental like damage and shit that they're doing, but this is fucking way more worse.
Yeah.
This guy's what people think Zuckerberg is.
He feels guilty too. So he wanted to get caught too.
You think that's what it was?
Subconsciously, man.
So I mean, he's essentially admitting that
It's wrong.
they fucking prey on people's emotions, and they realize that like sad stuff back to back doesn't work, and they just try to rile everybody up into anger because it drives more numbers. So they deliberately do it.
Anger and fear.
Social media accidentally does it, and it's the algorithm they've written that does it. But these people are deliberately doing it, which is on a whole other fucking scale, fucked up.
Damn, he gave up all the goods.
Dude, all of it, bro. All of it.
Man,
That's why the point you said was
Did he
so
fuck
funny.
is the real biggest point here.
Dude, that last one was crazy.
Oh, what is her
Yeah,
name?
That
that's a
last
good
one was
cut.
crazy.
But that one I kind of want to see what he says because I don't know. That cut's just like too good. I'm like, it might be.
What does she look like, boy?
For real, dude. Like, what does she look like? Did he hit? Because he said a lot.
You want to judge him, John? You want to see if it was worth giving up?
It's not. I don't judge him
All
no
the
more. I'm
goods.
gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you like this. I know people like this. He's just a dude. For example, you're on a date and you have that much to say about work. You're relying on your job's stature to seal the deal for you. Meaning you don't have anything interesting about you other than your job. So like there's already
I see what
That's
you're saying,
real.
like there's already like
That's
there's already
interesting.
like he's already, bro, like honestly speaking, man, if I talk to this man, I'll break him. He don't he don't
I know what you mean, though.
he's just a lame dude. He's a lame dude. He's trying to impress her. His mannerisms, like he's trying to seem. He wants everything to seem more nuanced than it is. It's really complicated.
It's like the joke you said. I run the world.
I run the world. Like we did this. We influenced this. Somehow I want you to associate me with getting Trump out. So I'm a hero or I'm a badass. And like, bro, like, man, just.
It reminds
This
me
is
of
another
that,
reason you just got to be yourself, bro. Like
that meme of the guy at the like baseball game talking to the blonde girl. I don't know if you've seen it, and she's just like completely uninterested. He's just like, "So this is what's happening."
yeah, trying to like
You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't think I've seen that.
It's forced conversation, and if not for her being there to get that conversation specifically,
Well, let's be fair here. Let's actually address the maliciousness in her deceiving this poor man. Like, what we got, don't get me wrong, like,
dude,
this is what I've been saying
dude,
for a
this ain't
while,
the
CNN.
This ain't the first
But
bitch he said this to.
Damn. Ooh.
He said this to all. He says this on all his dates.
This
Nobody
has to work
records
then
him.
for him to be so confident in it, right?
He believes it's gonna work. Because technically speaking, why is he still on Tinder? He not looking. He wants a bad. He's a CNN technical director. He doesn't want multiple bitches to be fucking. He's looking for one bad one to hold down with his bread. A bad one, a trophy wife. That's what he's looking for. And so he's gonna peacock to try and get his trophy wife. But it's not working because he's still on Tinder. How were they able to hatch the plan while he was on Tinder? Because they saw him on Tinder, right? Hatch the plan, still on Tinder. Tried to made the profile, still on Tinder. Matched, find him in the match. Find him. How many swipes did it take to find him.
I'm curious too. They had to
Still on
buy Tinder
Tinder.
Plus and all that stuff.
He
and,
was
like,
still
try
not
to-
getting pussy that whole time.
I wonder if
And
you can
then
write it off for tax.
If he get the gold.
I mean, she did her job. Like, fuck, she went and she.
That's why I'm
That's
wondering what
intel,
is she
bro.
for real. They said a journalist, not a
Yeah.
prostitute. No, I'm really the prostitute would have been better. In my honest opinion.
Yeah, she's a journalist.
If she
for
sucked
Project
him up a little bit,
Veritas.
he would have told it all for real.
I
want to
see what the fucking secret agent camera was. Is it like, you know what I mean? Like, was it a pin? Like, is it like the movies? Like,
They
what
actually
she
use some
use?
watches apparently.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know what all they use. But apparently, one of the things they use is a watch.
The
So
details he
has,
goes in doesn't even. They don't even make me think she asked questions.
So has Fox News gotten this?
I think so. Yeah.
Because I'm actually
I think,
really surprised that we're watching it on Twitter.
James O'Keefe went on
and-
Sean Hannity last night
Okay.
and talked about it. I think he actually publicly announced he's filing a lawsuit of defamation against CNN.
This
This guy?
No, that's
O'Keefe.
that's Charlie Chesser. James O'Keefe is this guy right here.
Guerrilla journalist. Okay, yeah, because I thought this was guerrilla journalism for sure, but it's just like, fuck. It's guerrilla as fuck, dude. Like, you just went in there and just.
dude, I still don't even. think that
She might as well have been just fucking painted out in camouflage. Like,
Bro.
fuck, dude.
Bro.
Like,
bro.
For real,
I'll
dude.
even
Like,
tell you-
that's crazy.
I'll
Like,
tell you another-
wow.
I'll tell you another fake ass detail. One of the bitches he matched with before is the one who goddamn triggered all of this shit. He be on them dates talking about goddamn brrr. It just doesn't make sense, bro. Honestly speaking, it just doesn't make sense. Like, this guy it just doesn't make sense to tell her all these details. She didn't even, there's no question she could have asked him for him to give all those details.
Yeah, I'm actually really curious to the question she asked. Like,
What-
how did
what nuanced ass
yeah.
question?
How did they get there? That's a very good point.
She
that I'm
handed him
very
a piece
curious
of
about.
paper and had a
I
question
wonder
with
how
A,
she
B,
worked
C,
him.
D, and E on it because that's the only fucking way.
that's kind of why I want the full vids too, because of the way that was it like the guy from Facebook that recently came out that basically said he would break up the company. He follows the narrative, but he watched the whole video. Well, people were saying like if you watch the whole video, like he might have been speaking hypothetical. We don't know for sure because we never actually saw the question asked.
Oh,
So-
we're not gonna do that.
We got to actually kind of like figure it out. Let's see what the questions are going.
Well, here's a longer version of the video. This is a 10-minute. I'm not
I'm
sure if
not-
it's the full day, but I'm just trying to see if they have longer versions. I'm not trying to watch it right now because, yeah, that's not what I'm trying to do. But there are longer versions at projectveritas.com. Like, this one's 10 minutes.
Dude, he was gonna
Bro,
run out of shit to say, so he had to keep talking about his shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally what was going on, bro. He didn't want the silence. Like, that silence was gonna kill him at the end of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Man.
what about, what'd you say her name was? Head ass. Probably don't even know her name. All that goddamn talking. Man, let's move on, man. Fuck this guy.
All right.
CNN.
All right. So
60 Minutes, don't trust them. CNN, don't trust them. Fuck it. It's just, I'm just taking off
If
names
Trump
off the
finna drop his
fucking-
news network, he need to drop it with that shit as the trailer and keep it pushing.
That'd
I'll
be a
give him that
funny
for free.
trailer. It's a funny trailer. All right. So let's get into the intense thing that happened this past Sunday, which was the shooting and killing of Dante Wright. So I'm going to read this real quick. So Dante Wright, the 20-year-old black man shot by a police officer in Minneapolis suburbs Sunday afternoon, had an open warrant for his arrest related to an aggravated arms robbery attempt when he was killed, according to court records. Wright and another man identified as Image Maurice Driver, a high school. This is really unrelated to the
I was
actual
about to
shooting,
say, I thought they-
shooting itself.
I thought they said that warrant. There's conflicting reports on that warrant, too.
Yeah, there are.
They said the warrant actually wasn't for that. So I'd be interested to see.
Yeah, I got the fact check right here about it too. I was trying to.
Oh, is that what it was? That I
Yeah.
was reading? Okay,
Yeah,
you see
so
that posted?
I have this thing right here. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I wasn't trying to jump.
I think this was about the riot that happened afterwards. So basically, what happened was they're just talking about him and his past record, not actually what happened in the incident. If y'all see it, stop me.
Oh, she's a redhead?
Yeah.
Damn. That sucks for that community.
So body cam footage released by the Brooklyn Center Police Department on Monday shows the moments after Wright had gotten out of his car. An officer attempts to handcuff him. Wright pries himself loose and jumps back into his car. A police officer can be heard shouting, "I'll tase you, taser, taser, taser." She draws her and fires a single shot from her handgun as the car speeds away. The officer can be heard shouting, "Holy blank, I shot him." Holy expletive, they don't say. But
Brooklyn. Oh, okay. Brooklyn, Minneapolis, I guess. Give us our name back. Y'all niggas not doing that shit right.
Let me see if I can pull up the video, actually.
The same city as fucking George Floyd. That city, boy.
That's honestly the crazy part. Like, the same. Like,
That city,
wow,
boy.
dude.
I thought they just rebuilt the police.
They got all new ones. Sorry,
So, all right.
I got it.
So
I
here's the actual footage.
Oh, I haven't seen this.
Yeah, so here they got him pulled over. So this is what they say happened. They got him pulled over. They attempt to arrest him. Apparently he makes a move, and then she says, "Taser, taser, taser." But instead of a bang.
Sheesh, don't nobody get dressed knowing that's their last fit, boy. That's a crazy, like, nobody gets ready for their last day. Break. He trying to close that thing.
I wonder
Oh,
oh shit.
ooh. She held the gun for so long.
Yeah.
She held the gun for so long.
Even the cop
then-
who was like holding down Dante was just like, what the fuck? Dude, he backed off so quick.
Y'all got it, boy. Go ahead. I'm good.
So then here comes the fact check. So like you said, there's been conflicting reports on that warrant. So where is it up here? It says the claim. So the claim is in a TikTok video that was also shared to Twitter this week. Actor and comedian Walter Matterson's claimed he knew the tragic reason why there was a warrant for Wright's arrest. In the video, Masterson visits the Minnesota Judicial Branch website and accesses it to public court records. He enters the case number and looks up documents for the case, State of Minnesota versus Dante Demetrius Wright. Document in that case show Wright was charged with first-degree aggravated robbery, a felony in December 2019. The most recent document available, it talks about how the middle name, something about the middle name. And then the fact is, no warrants were issued for Wright in the aggravated robbery case, according to court records. The warrant was related to a separate case, and here's the case number right here, in which Wright was charged with carrying a pistol without a permit and fleeing a police officer. A notice for a hearing in that case on April 2nd was uploaded on March 4th. No returned mail was listed in that case.
Oh, so it's an open warrant for failure to appear.
Yeah. Court records show a judge signed a gross misdemeanor warrant for Wright's arrest on April 2nd after he missed the 2:30 p.m. Zoom hearing. Although other official records show Wright's middle name was Demetrius, Newsweek confirmed that the state of Minnesota versus Dante Demetrius Wright pertains to the same person with the same date of birth and address. So the ruling is false to... Was Dante Wright's address weren't sent to
So
the
now
wrong
my
address,
question
so
is,
it's false.
ooh, man, I'm good. It's just like, bro, at what point, why are we putting information out? At what point, like, the purpose of putting the information out? Why? Why you put that out?
And then I think that makes sense now as to, I think why I had this, to the backstory of him as to, I guess, why he got these warrants and everything like that.
But none of this was on the facts, right? Or this was on the facts.
No, it wasn't necessary to get into the point.
The warrant.
Yeah.
He didn't have a warrant for this, is what you're saying, basically.
No.
So they were arresting him for the warrant, though, right? Because they had found
But
it.
a separate warrant.
He did have a warrant, but it wasn't what the warrant people think the warrant was.
Okay.
But he did have a warrant. So when they pulled him over so apparently they pulled him over for a warrant. Well, they pulled him over for bad tags.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they came over to him, they saw he had something dangling. And apparently in what was it, Minnesota? You can't have that. It's illegal to have stuff dangling from there. So
Really?
yeah, it was how the situation escalated. It was they got him for tags, went over, saw the air freshener, and then that's when I guess they asked him to come out.
Do they
of the
sell
car.
car air fresheners in Minnesota?
That's what I'm wondering too, bro.
You're right? Why the
like where the cops they walked up and they saw the air freshener and they were like, "You sick fuck!" Like just drove up and we're just like, "Get him!"
Yeah.
But like,
Pull up to the gas station. Hey, y'all look like y'all sold a couple air fresheners today. Hey, what is that? What type of rule is that?
Yeah.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, and then the cop was charged with over here. Charged with second-degree manslaughter in Dante Wright case. Potter, a 26-year-old Book Center, Minnesota police veteran, shot and killed Dante Wright during a traffic stop Sunday. The former police officer who was recorded on camera fatally shooting Dante Wright during a traffic stop was arrested and charged with second-degree manslaughter, authorities said Wednesday. I can't. She's a 26-year veteran. I'm not gonna lie, dude. That's a crazy mistake.
Yeah, I think she fucked up all around.
Bro, she held the gun
Like,
for so long.
yeah, there was no reason why she should have.
When did she
drawn her
actually
actual weapon and
fire,
fired
though? I couldn't tell.
She was. I
Was it
guess.
initially?
No. It was when you saw the gun
No.
first. She was like kind of shaking it, and then
Yeah, I
you
saw.
could tell like right before he pulled
Pulls
off.
off.
That's when you saw the kick in the gun. It was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the cop, like the guy who's trying to hold him down while she's pointing the pistol, when she fires, you can see him immediately take like 10 steps back, or he's just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I seen that part. And you know what's crazy, dude? All those cops had to look at her so crazy right after that. Like, bro, you know where the fuck we
Yeah.
are?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, and it's like another repeat of it, like similar situation. It's just like,
But, I mean, obviously this one wasn't like, this is stupidity.
I think everybody though at this point is just like, why does this keep happening? Like, I think even like racism aside and all that stuff, everyone's just kind of like, why do we keep
now the
killing
real
people that we pull
conversation.
over, or
Cops suck.
for situations stuff like that?
Because in general, cops suck. I mean, I don't just
No,
like them.
I would
All
agree
cops
with
aren't
that, like,
bastards, but
yeah,
the
like,
general, the
I would
average,
agree
the mean, they're all, the mean is garbage.
And then the whole, like, honestly, and then the whole narrative of, defund the police and all cops are bastards, like, are we getting the best of the best right now? Like, what's the incentive of being a cop? Do you really think people want to be cops right now? Like, not to talk bad about them, but it definitely affects on their, I would say, mental state. Like, if I was a cop right now, it's like, geez, like, gotta be careful out here. And
You
then
gotta
that,
stop
like,
shooting folks.
gotta stop shooting.
Yeah, dude,
Like,
no, for real.
huh?
Like, yeah.
Like,
Dude,
woo-wee.
can you imagine the morale at that fucking precinct where everybody's just like, dude, again? Like,
Well,
for
you know she had to
real?
walk in that day too. That's just from her point of view, that's a tough day.
So from the video I saw,
26 years down
she
the
was
drain.
training the guy who was holding Dante down.
Ugh.
No.
Yeah, and she did that, and then that's probably why he's just like, "What the fuck, dude?" Like,
Bro,
That's a
I
training-
don't know for
that's a-
sure, but
That's a
what
training he'll never forget.
Yeah,
Dominant handgun, non-dominant taser. An argument could be made that why, if the goal is to de-escalate the situation, why won't your dominant hand be the taser?
dude. The only
I'll
thing I
just
can
keep
think
going.
of is that they weren't trained enough. Because when shit goes down,
It's because they're not, honestly, to be honest, they're not trained to de-escalate if you think about it.
They are not.
I think in general, I think they might just not be trained enough. And so, like, to some extent, the whole, like, all cops are bastards has some truth in it, in the sense that, like, we have to actually admit that, like, they kind of suck to start working on it. You know what I mean? Whether or not, like, getting rid of them altogether and abolishing policing,
That's stupid.
that's the other way. You know what I mean? That's the wrong way.
Has to be a middle ground somewhere.
Yeah, we just
between
we
those
gotta
two.
start working from somewhere. But I actually think, like, she might not have been practiced in drawing her weapon, and so, like, if she'd have been trained, her muscle memory in the moment would have gone to the taser as opposed to the actual pistol.
She blacked out.
Or even the feel, too. Like,
She
I'm pretty
blacked
sure
out.
in the hand, the taser feels different than the gun.
She blacked out.
I would assume, to be honest.
She blacked out. Because after she shot the gun, that's when she said, I think I shot him. She blacked out. The whole situation, her grabbing it, her pointing it, it was all just too quick for her.
Yeah.
It was just too quick for her. Like, she didn't actually process any information other than she was looking almost.
She
and
went
it's
into
not
fight or flight. She fought.
Yeah. Like, she was, not that she was looking for a reason to kill him. She was looking for, like, she was on her P's and Q's. Like, oh, he might have a weapon. He might da-da-da-da. And then not to say she wanted to shoot him because she didn't know she had a gun. But she was just ready to pull that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Then, you know what I'm saying, let him get in his car. And then y'all chase him down, do the pit maneuver, chase him. There's proper protocols to car chases, too, Stay a certain distance. They're going to run out of gas. Let them do whatever the fuck they're doing. Call the helicopter. Niggas not escaping no fucking chopper. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, it's just, boy, man, that level of, wow, 26 years down the drain.
26 years down the
Down
drain.
the fucking drain. Like,
I mean, it just
Yeah,
comes
with
down
you
to,
in prison.
it just comes down to, I feel like what we have been talking about on this podcast all the time, and I can't help but repeating every time we talk about this, is police reform. Police reform, police reform.
I think if they go into reform, what is that term? The probable. What's the term that protects them?
The union.
No. The
Probable
like.
cause?
No, there's like a
Are you talking about when they fear for their
qualified
life?
immunity.
Yeah.
Qualified immunity. That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
I think if they get rid of qualified immunity and then they up the training for them, then
Get rid of
there'll
the
be like
unions.
actual repercussions to be like, hey, look, if like we're gonna train you more because now you actually are on the line. If they get rid of qualified immunity and don't train them up, it's just gonna be fucking.
I believe this for every government position, any government job, any government anything. Anything based off of the old structure needs to be revisited and revamped. It's as simple as that. Just whatever it is, police, construction, however it is we do anything. We can't still be using guidelines from 70s and 80s, bro. Like, we can't be having shit from the 90s. Like that's what we still dealing with. Like, spend the money. Like, spend the money. Don't and then that's the funny thing. The defund the police. A lot of people say it thinking, say it ignorantly. I mean, the people saying it are saying it ignorantly is what I'm saying. But the stupid people who behind the marketing of it, who could have come up with a lot better way to say what the fuck they're actually trying to do. It just talks on if not spending as much money on certain parts of the training and spending more money on other aspects of training. Specialized police. Small things like that. So, I mean, I don't know. This is America, bro. If we want to do some shit, we're going to do it, bro. If we don't want to do that shit, we're not going to do it.
Yeah, we're going to have to move forward with a weird policing style, man. Because even, it's kind of weird to think about it, right? Like, when you talk about cops in the United States, you think about it, you're like, dude, I could fucking die. Like, interacting with that human being, I could probably fucking die. And it's fucked up, honestly, man. Like, I laugh because I'm just trying to kind of chuckle through the
you're absolutely right. I'm a calm
pain
dude.
of it, but yeah, like, it's true, man.
I'm a calm dude. Like, it takes a lot to get me out of my character, bro. But, like, I shouldn't be looking at a policeman or, like, cops and, like, I know I'm not doing nothing wrong, and I'm like, my body, my heart rate starts getting increasing. Like, again, these are things that are out of my control. Like, I know I'm fine. I know I haven't done anything wrong. Yet, it's like, it's a thing.
That's actually true, man. That's a very real observation.
We have to just work on whatever it is internally too and externally. What's causing us to feel that internally? We have to work on ourselves, and then we have to work on what's the external force that's causing us to feel that. Like, why is it? What is it about a cop's presence that instead of relief, I feel the opposite?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
right.
Then their whole symbol is a shield.
It's like as soon as a cop is in the area, I'm aware of them. I go into
alert,
like an alert. Yeah, I because there's a predator in my environment, and I think about that.
And you know what that is? I think that feeling is that gray area. We're all subconsciously aware of that gray area where this person can tweak this or do this or word this way
and get away with something.
Get away with something.
This.
Exactly. Yeah. And I won't have a fair chance. Like, me against this person is not fair. I can't compete. I can't. My voice won't be as loud. I don't have as much support. I don't have the money behind me. All these things. And so, like, when you're looking at a cop, man, that's one of the only things where it's like you look at one person and you feel the presence of the whole organization. It don't matter if it's one cop in a situation where it's like guns drawn. You'll see niggas in the hood say, "Don't shoot him. Don't shoot him," because you shoot the cop, you kill a cop.
So I agree with that sentiment. But then how do we get better cops if we can't how do we get rid of this sentiment to get better cops at the end of the day? Because this paints a stigma on them. Because then, like, why would people want to be cops after this?
Because,
like, the rhetoric going on.
This is what I keep saying. Integration, America failed at. That's our least. We're not good at that shit. For some reason, we're just not good at integration. And I even mean that as far as policy-wise. We had an old, archaic system, and we just said, okay, we'll take all the racist shit out, and then we still have racial components left in the system. Those racial components have trickle-down effects. So whereas the scenario, the situation may not be based off of something racial, the scenario is allowed to exist based off of pre-existing, not racist, but racial components. as far as dealing with certain demographics and this and that and the other.
Yeah.
So it's just like it needs to be revamped. We
Yeah.
can't have just all like New York can't be 40% Italian and Irish cops. Like why still? Like you know what I'm saying? It can't be just generational. The same way we feel about politicians.
Mm-hmm.
Can't just be the same family member passing down, and like. Yeah, these guys are terrorizing. Like, there's some cops that are amazing, but there are some cops who literally terrorize. Like, I can tell you, I've been pulled over. I'm not even to speak about no abuse. You know stuff I've been through, but I've had weed taken from me, and a different amount reported. Less weed reported, just enough weed for me to get the charge. Where the rest of the weed go? It went in the car when I got back to the car. Where'd it go? Huh? That's what I'm saying. Shit like that.
Yeah.
What is there for that? What do we do for that? He getting high off my weed. Fuck him, by the way.
Yeah, I think it's a fine line, man. I definitely talk myself down and try to be like, no, I should feel safer. I try to calm myself down, but I'm always on that like line where I'm just like, dude, at any point.
And then
shit
they
could
gonna
go
talk to you.
wrong.
They gonna talk to you with his hand hovering around his gun. What? Yeah.
I think it's a hard argument too, because like integration is difficult in the United States, and I think the conservative side right now is trying to say we'll make it work, whereas the leftists, and I specifically pointing out leftists, are just like, nah, it's not gonna work. It's done. We're gonna go back into our bands, and we're gonna resegregate, and we're gonna fucking just.
I'm glad you say that, Doc,
We're gonna do it.
because Rita Shida Tlaib tweeted out, "It wasn't an accident. Policing in our country is inherently and intentionally racist. Donta White was met with aggression and violence. I am done with those who condone government-funded murder. No more police incarceration and militarization. It can't be reformed."
Oh shit! Did I give you a segue?
Yeah, you did, Doc. Thank you very much.
I didn't even notice. I was just thinking that shit. I was like, man, that's a little weird. But yeah, I mean, that's exactly
not
it.
much
Like,
about segue. It's just like to support, I guess, what you're saying. Like, I agree. Like,
yeah, I mean, you said she's an official, right?
yeah, Rashida Tlaib.
Yeah. So what is she gonna do? She's gonna fucking abolish the police in her district? Like,
Michigan,
what?
Michigan 13th.
At every elected official event, there's police there protecting them. I'll just
Yeah,
say
what
that.
is she gonna do
I'll
to
just say
her
that.
guards?
I'll
Like,
just say
what?
that.
Nah, dude, she's gonna walk through the people with a fucking potato sack. Just let the people fucking worship her.
But I'll tell you what.
I just see
and this
her
is-
as using it as an opportunity
and
to
I'm gonna be honest
make
with you,
it
bro.
racial, because I don't think it was
It's
racial.
not racial.
And then
But I still don't fuck with friendly cops.
I try to
don't.
smooth through the situation as quickly as possible.
Man, bro, my leg popped out of place. I was changing a tire. A cop pulled up on me. I mean, my leg is currently out of place while this man is talking to me. And he's like, "Do you need some help?" He sees the pain in my face. I look him square in his eyes and say, "No, you're good to go." Nigga, my leg is out of place. I had to pop and then put the tire on, nigga, limping in real deal pain. I needed help, Gene.
Mhm.
I needed help. But God forbid he helped change the tire and just think I smell like weed.
Mhm.
Or I'm on the ground, I'm trying to get up, and he just feel like I'm moving too quick. I'm not gonna move like a snail because you got a gun. Fuck you. I can change this tire with one leg. Get the fuck out of here. And that's just how it is. I don't fuck with friendly cops. I give them a head nod.
So let me ask you an anecdotal question then on that. If they legalize weed,
It's over.
do you think that situation would change?
It's
Yeah.
over. It's over. I'll tell you right now.
That would
my
reduce
two
a lot
friends
of
was-
it, because that's a lot of the starts. Oh, not
That's
start.
it.
I gotta look at the stats of it, but yeah, just they come up to
100%.
it.
I smell
smell weed.
marijuana.
Yeah.
And they smell marijuana based off your skin tone, how you dressed, how your car look. It's funny. It's never actually off the smell. What'd you pull me over for? I smell marijuana. What did you pull me over for? I smell marijuana.
I can see the bias on that, where they're just like assuming that just because you're black
Yeah,
or you're
man.
wearing what they assume would be like urban wear, they're just be like, oh, okay, cool. Like he's probably smoking weed, so this is a fucking bust. So I'll hit my quota. And so if they,
Dude, they need to get rid of that quota system.
yeah, because it incites predatory
Yes,
action.
it does. Yes.
Then you couple it. These are
It's that-
stacked. These are
it's that
stacked
sales-
effect.
It's that sales mentality. When I used to do sales, well, I wasn't in sales, but
No,
it's a similar
absolutely.
mentality.
There's aggressiveness to it. It's like magic,
got a
dude. These are
product you're pushing,
stacked
and you gotta
effects.
get them to take it.
So you
I
stack,
kinda wish
I gotta
knew
hit my
the way the
numbers.
quota
you stack a
system worked,
quota
though.
on top of
You don't have to take it, but I'll be back.
you stack a quota on top of just smell giving you probable cause. Bro, that's a mean effect, boy. I don't see nobody beating that deck, boy. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's crazy. How do I beat that? And I do be smoking weed. I really do. I be smoking weed all the time. So it's like, bro,
So-
you gonna catch me every time. That's not fair.
So if
Fuck
they
you.
legalize weed though, like, and this is something that like, oh man, like it sounds lame because this is kind of like a fucking old man mentality, but it's just like, you know how they say like smoking a lot of weed, the stereotype is that it makes you lazy, even though I've met people who have accomplished a ton that love to smoke weed. Do you think though, on a massive level, that would actually like take place? That like,
I think we'll get there. Hopefully.
I think
because I had this like evil idea like the other day where I was just like, dude, like, you know how people are always afraid of like, oh, they're sedating us, they're fucking feeding us fluoride in the water, like they're just fucking giving us like,
Toothpaste and all that stuff. Yeah.
yeah, like you know, everyone has this conspiracy of like, I was like, if they really wanted to sedate people, they could just legalize weed, and all of a sudden, like everyone's sedated and
everybody
everyone's kind of just
pacified.
like, yeah, pacified.
yeah, I agree, but I disagree, but it would make people lazy, but the only reason it would make people lazy is lazy comes from complacency. So the person already has that complacent spirit, if you will, in them. The weed is a catalyst or an amplifier, I guess, if you want to call it that. It makes them okay with that complacency. But regardless, if you want to do something,
Weed doesn't cause it though.
yeah, like it's just like the same argument as who's the
It's on
killer,
the
the
individual,
gun,
whether or not you're.
the gun or the person.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's the same conversation. So I get it, but then it's like, at what cost? You're talking about business. You're talking about
Alcohol. Why
like,
can't we regulate just like alcohol?
like there's so
Just-
many things. We're literally talking about in America. There's a whole avenue of business that we just refuse to explore. We're not talking about hard drugs. It's classified as a hard drug. That's the first thing. There's so many layers. There's so many fucking counters and trap cards on this stupid ass marijuana shit. Doesn't make sense. Even it's legal in California. A state, a federal person
To
could pull
tie
you
back
over.
to, I don't think we got to it last podcast, but the guy who apparently smoked marijuana
Went to
and-
Ethiopia
and he went to Ethiopia.
because he blacked out for 4 days smoking marijuana. This is a congressman. This is a congressman, Gene. And this
I'm
is
telling you, dude,
this is
It's
the,
not marijuana.
the boldness of
It
that
wasn't.
lie.
It wasn't weed.
The
bro.
Gene, on everything I love, if I seen that man, told me that story, I could slap him. The real reason is because it's such a big insult to anybody who actually smokes that you blacked out for 4 days and ended up in Ethiopia, my guy, off of marijuana. Who's paying you? Who the fuck are you lobbying for? Who is paying you for this lie? 'Cause it's
Yeah,
so
it'd be like two
bold.
questions. Be like, who the fuck is paying you, and who's your dealer?
Who's your
Like-
fucking
Yeah.
dealer?
Yeah,
He's putting bath salts in your shit.
something.
Smoke marijuana and black out for 4 days. Bro, Xanax won't even black out for 4 days. Talking about blackout, that's a coma. 4 days, that's a coma. And then you woke up in Ethiopia. How'd you get home? Where's your wallet? How'd you book your flight? How did you get past TSA? There's so many insults in that
Yeah,
lie. There's just so
he
many.
said he did it
insults
recently, or like in his past.
in his past.
Oh, okay.
He said that's
I was
why
like,
he's
how'd
so
you fucking
against
get
it.
over COVID and all that shit into Ethiopia? Like, what? Come on. But yeah, in his past makes so much more sense.
Can you what's it? Never mind. It's not even, he's not even worth it. He's not even worth it. But such a bold face lie. That's such an insult. And it shows you actually how strong whatever that sentiment is of not wanting it to be legal, and the real reason behind it is ignorantly strong. Because somebody can tell an ignorant lie. If it wasn't worth it, he wouldn't stretch that far with the lie. But he's stretching that far with the lie because of the trend. It's gonna be legal. Now I have to really come up with some shit to scare some people. Why this hard?
I think it's old conservatism in the reasons why like they won't legalize it, because the whole
I would
original
agree to that.
mentality of like intense capitalism, like you need to go out there, you need to work, everyone's afraid of complacency. And if they legalize it, they're afraid everyone's just gonna get lazy, and all of a sudden we have no more economy and all this other stuff. But we've actually seen that weed itself is a fucking economic boomer because it's another business
And it's got
that
medicinal
people get
aspects to it.
into, and so we'll still be at it. Like some of the most savvy people I've ever
If
met
not at least smoking it.
grow
The
weed.
actual...
Like
I'll tell you this.
they're
There's more.
they turn into scientists to grow weed, dude. Like, come on,
100%.
we're still gonna do it.
There's more functional pot smokers than there are functional pill heads
Or alcoholics.
or alcoholics. Boom. That's it. That's all I got for them. I don't know why this is still a conversation. I really don't. I really thought by the time I was goddamn 30.
You kind of went down there a little bit.
Shit is stupid.
All right, so we also got some crazy international news. So Ukraine says Russia has moved 80,000 troops to Borda in Crimea, and Putin won't talk.
Yeah, I think Putin needs to he needs to smoke a joint and chill out, dude. Because holy fuck, dude.
Doc and I were joking about it last night. In magic terms, like, dude, he's just pulling an aggro move. He's making people reveal their hands. Like, what you
Yeah.
got? If you got a counter for it, play it now. Otherwise, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, dude, he's really testing the waters, man. He's
I know
stopped
Joe
right
Biden's
at the
sick
border.
about this. Joe Biden
so
and his
mad.
son are sick about this.
He's so
Ukraine?
mad, I bet.
Joe Biden woke up in the morning. Ukraine? Ukraine?
Fuck.
We just sent all our money there. Oh man.
Yeah, he's
Dude.
fucking pissed, bro.
I bet you his son enlist. He said, "No, we gotta go get that cocaine money. I need that. I'll shoot everybody."
All right, so Ukraine's government said on Monday that requests by President I'm gonna butcher this.
Wait.
Volodymyr.
Where is it?
Volodymyr. I'm pretty
it's
sure.
I think it's Volodymyr.
Vladimir?
Yeah.
Zelensky. I
Yeah.
got that one. To speak with Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin about the escalating conflict in eastern Ukraine had been ignored. Moscow denied receiving any request from Kiev for such talks. Tension between the neighbors has grown steadily for several weeks, with intensified skirmishes in eastern Ukraine, a region that has been mired in conflict since Russia first backed Ukraine separatists there 7 years ago. Putin has sent 7,000 forces toward the Ukraine border recently, raising concerns among politicians in the United States and European Union. Biden
So the Ukraine's been,
Biden pledges Ukraine's unwavering support amid Russian aggression.
the Ukraine's been like at the end of the stick for whatever Russia does for a long time. So they were part of Russia. Then when they became communist, a lot of Ukrainians died because they basically starved to death because they killed all the leaders of like their all the capitalist leaders and stuff like that. And so all the farm owners then couldn't manage the farms, and so the workers couldn't basically work to feed themselves, and the Ukrainians all died while they started in this whole new communist regime. And eventually, like, stuff kind of kept boiling over with that. So when the USSR was destroyed and separated, they finally established themselves as a sovereign nation. The only thing is that they've had trouble stabilizing themselves economically ever since. And to some extent, like, they are good, but they're not like where they would want to be. And so there's factions within the Ukraine that support being annexed back into Russia, since Russia's doing pretty well right now with capitalistic communism. And so that's where the separatists, like 7 years ago, basically got help from Russia, and they took back that portion of Crimea. And it looks like Putin's back to maybe finish the job with 80K, dude. Like, that's not a number to joke with. Like, it's crazy too, because like they're so stern about it. Like, I can't remember the position of the person that was interviewed, but he was a diplomat basically representing Russia, and they asked him, why are 80,000 soldiers and tanks being trafficked into the border to line up against the walls of the Ukraine? And he said, well, it's our land. We have every right to be there if we want to. And it's just like, what the fuck? Like, okay. Like, yeah, I'm just going to put my missiles at the wall of the fence. Like, okay. So essentially, this president is pleading to NATO, which is the Western coalition of the military. So if anything ever happens, like if aliens ever attack or anybody starts a fucking world war, NATO's the one on the western side of Europe that's going to go in there and help out, and all the nations are going to group in together because we're an alliance, and we're part of that, and we're also one of the major suppliers of the military there. Ukraine is not in NATO. They want to be in NATO. They've asked before, but they were never brought in. And one of the reasons, basically their bargaining chip that they're saying to join NATO is that if shit goes down, we're the forward base to go into Russia if Russia ever goes rogue. Russia doesn't like that. Russia said, hell no. We're taking you back, and we're not going to give you the opportunity for basically to wedge us in from NATO. So, I mean, this might be a response to that. We don't know yet because nobody's made a move outside of mobilizing. But this president for the Ukraine is shitting bricks and asking for help. And he's asking to finally be joined into NATO. He's asking Biden directly in his administration to send soldiers. And I saw a CNN report too, where the guy is talking to the reporter, and he's just like, I don't have any more patience for supportive words. He basically says, he's like, stop telling me, hey, you got it, we're cool, it'll be fine. Yeah, we're looking into it. He's like, I need fucking boots on the ground here now. And the shitty thing is, though, like, we just announced that we're getting out of Afghanistan in 9/11, 2021, and supposedly it's like an unconditional, like, I can't remember, extraction. So all the other extractions, when we said we were going to get out of Afghanistan, there was always a condition. It was basically like the violence rate had to hit a certain quota, and we never ever hit that quota. So we stayed in Afghanistan ever since. Now it's just a flat out, this day we're gone. We don't care anymore. Whether or not it'll happen, we don't know. But I think honestly, those guys from Afghanistan are just gonna get sent to Ukraine. And that's like a whole other deal, because we'll actually have to see if Biden wants to go to war with Russia, because that's not something to fuck with. That's not rebels that are just kind of like straggling together and trying to defend themselves and like freedom fighters. Like, no, this is a mobilized military that's fully prepared to fight a first world war. So we'll see if they go over there.
That's why there's a second part right
I
here.
think. Oh well, my final thought is I think Putin's trying to see if Biden will just pull them out of Afghanistan and send them home, and leave Ukraine alone, and maybe defenseless, and then he might make a move.
You mean just sacrifice Ukraine and then eventually go like make a counter move? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think we're gonna move at all, because honestly,
Oh, you're
like,
saying
I
just
don't,
abandoning them.
I don't
He's
think
not abandoning
Putin
Ukraine.
wants to.
I
Yeah,
don't
he
think
doesn't
so.
want to
That's what I
conquer the
said
world.
right here.
I think he just wants to take back the states from the USSR. Excuse me. And so I think he's going to just kind of like, with 80K, dude, like, he can take it. Like, he can take the country. He can just kind of move in and already have a vanguard to push in forward, and then just resupply routes, because he's already built the routes too. There'll be time of like trench warfare, because in the Ukraine they've already built the trenches where they're going to be fighting, and they're like yards apart from the other lines of the trenches where the Russians are right now. And dude, it's crazy. If you see the videos of the tanks being fucking trained into the border, it's just like massive, massive railroad train yard, like the huge transport trains, and there's just stacks and stacks of tanks, dude. 'Cause Russia has hella tanks, and they're just being sent to the border, man. So, in a fucked up way, like, if they really wanted to push hard, they could probably blitzkrieg, which is just send them the tank line first and push into the Ukraine, and from there take a good chunk, maybe even all the state. So I genuinely think that he's just testing Biden to see if he'll send troops that way, to see if it'll be left defenseless, and then he might just take it, because it doesn't seem like he would lose much taking the Ukraine.
So do you think, despite Biden's support or not, he's still going to try to take it?
I mean, on our country, like, we'd be like, that's not our fight. A lot of people would agree with that, and then we would lose diplomatic power with NATO, which would suck. And he would gain the state, and he would probably go on the news saying like, "Hey, I took back a USSR state, and I helped the hero separatists in that state that wanted to rejoin the power, you know, like us, because we're fucking awesome." And then he would just go along with it.
Man, I don't know about shit. This is getting interesting. Maybe not the right word to say, but it's just crazy.
I mean, it is scary. It's just, and you're right. I actually think that's a good word, interesting. That's usually the word I use when I don't know, like, if it's good or bad. It's just something that's happening.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just interesting. It's hard to stomach, because it's just like, holy shit, like, we might actually see a like a real not covered up like or spun for some sort of like what's the word I'm looking for? Some sort of virtue act. Like this is just straight conquest. Like this, he's just gonna go and he's gonna take it. You know, like America has done similar things, but we've always had the virtue signal behind it, so it doesn't
Yeah.
ever look like it.
We're the
And
good
I don't
guys.
think, yeah, and I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares. He's just gonna go for it.
That's what I was going to say about that. I can get into what Biden has said right here. Like, he already pledged Ukraine unwavering support amid Russian aggression. The president's office, of course, made a request to speak with Vladimir Putin. We have not received an answer yet, and we very much hope that this is not a refusal of dialogue, Ukraine president spokeswoman Lulia Medel told Reuters on Monday. She told Russia's Interfax, a news agency, that the request for talks was sent on March 26 after 4 Ukraine's servicemen were killed by shelling in the country's east. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov told reporters that he hasn't seen any requests in the past several days. So yeah, it seems like Putin, he's made up his mind.
Yeah.
Dude, and
40 in
a lot of the
Ukraine,
world's
40
still
in
recovering
Crimea.
too, so a lot of people are like, fuck, are we really gonna send people over there like in the middle of the but it's the tail end of the pandemic, so he's probably like vaccinated a good portion of his military, but other countries are still trying to like use the military to stabilize their countries because I mean almost every country rioted. And he's just like, nah, it's time. I'm gonna fucking move. Go. It's fucking wild, man.
Yeah, just further escalating. The current is escalating is also further straining U.S.-Russia relations. Yeah.
You right there it says US military aid is a matter of survival for Ukraine. Yeah. It's like fuck, man. Are we gonna back them up? Like
This is going to be
shit.
well, I'm probably going to
Yeah,
be
who-
keeping up with this. You and I are probably be keeping up with this because this is crazy.
We'll see what happens, man. I mean, when Obama was there, Obama just increased the sanctions and he didn't actually send the military. And they eventually took Crimea. So I think Putin's betting on that to happen again. And we'll see how it goes down. But yeah, that's the crazy thing that's happening over in I think this is what, Western Europe right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Maybe Eastern.
Yeah,
Eastern.
you're right. Because Western
Eastern.
Europe's more towards
Yeah.
like Britain and all that stuff.
Yeah. All right, y'all. I think that's enough fake deep thinking for today. Make sure you follow our Twitter at podcastfdt. Make sure you check out our YouTube page, Fake Deep Thinking. Leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. See you next time on Fake Deep Thinking.
Peace.
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 Fuck out of here.
Don't play Bro Commander.
Fuck out of here.